The government early this morning, Thursday, reported to the media 13,655 new discovered cases of COVID around the nation. In the past 24 hours, 81 new deaths have been attributed to COVID or pre-existing conditions exacerbated by the virus. In our own province of Chonburi, a massive 620 new cases, 151 in Banglamung, 204 in neighbouring Silachar, 101 in Chonburi city itself, and the balance spread all around the province. Thailand's National Vaccine Institute director has apologised to the public yesterday in a press conference for what he described as the slow and insufficient national vaccine rollout, and went on to say that mutations of the virus were unforeseen, but also announced that Thailand will join the COVAX program, which will see even more vaccines donated to Thailand over the next year. To be fair to him, until the Indian variant hit the nation, there was little cause for concern. However, equally it was impossible to imagine that one partially landlocked nation with national borders to other countries could remain an island as the rest of the world faced the Chinese-born virus. This is the CCSA, and government mooted plans to add further restrictions to normal life, including sports activities. We now go over to the English language CCSA press meeting of yesterday, which followed the Thai presentation and included changes to regulations, some of which are already implemented in our own province.
An update on the vaccination that have been administered since the start of our national vaccine drive in February, and of course nationwide in the month of June. So yesterday we inoculated 257,000 doses of vaccines, increasing the accumulated number of total of 14.8 million doses. The rapid spread of COVID has led to increasing demand for tests, resulting in people having to wait long queues. So in response, the Food and Drug Administration of Thailand approved and registered 4 antigen COVID-19 test kits for home use. These ATK will be available for purchase at pharmacies or drugstores with in-house pharmacists, as well as hospital staff, to advise on how to properly use and dispose of these test kits. This will help reduce the overcrowding in various testing centers and assist authorities with active testing. Early detection. So in case of positive results, individuals should enter into immediate isolation and have their tests confirmed by the RT-PCR test. On the antigen test kits, in addition, the ATK, authorities have been conducting door-to-door missions. The following venues would be closed for the time being, pursuant to announcement number 28. Golf courses, golf driving ranges, hair salons, and barber shops.
And in Chonburi, under the powers invested in the provincial government and following the massive list of closures, leaving only food retailers, pharmacies, hospitals and DIY shops allowed to open for business, new additional closures were announced yesterday, effective from today and including all indoor and outdoor sports stadiums, golf courses, mini-golf and golf ranges, libraries and bookstores, all public parks, gardens, botanical parks, including commercial ones, indoor and outdoor boxing court areas and boxing schools. With salons already closed, it's been clarified that all barbers and salons, along with nail and tattoo shops, are to close, and all types of competitive courts, indoor or outdoor, including tennis, volleyball and badminton courts. All types of swimming pools, private, public and water parks, are to close. And you can safely assume that that will apply to condos too, but it doesn't apply to pools in private homes for single-family use. For Thais trying to escape to their hometowns and villages, and with the block on inter-provincial travel, it may be too late now, as in addition to domestic flights and all but a handful of trains, the bus transport company has stopped all inter-provincial routes until next month, leaving the sole option of travel mode to either private minivans or cars. That sadly will see many left here without incomes and nowhere to go. On the good news front, despite the horrendous and painful symptoms of COVID, far worse than any flu, The recovery rate is seeing reasonable results nationwide. For those who've had the vaccines, the symptoms are considerably milder. However, thousands remain under emergency care, with the virus having attacked their lungs and leaving them incapacitated. Concern continues for those over 50 or with underlying health issues, of which many are unaware. And the reminder remains that the virus can be passed on even by asymptomatic patients, and can be passed on for a limited time on surfaces, such as money. Those using cash are advised to wash with alcohol after every transaction, especially at tolls where you handle a card or cash. The Royal Thai Police Chief has clarified that they have shown leniency towards curfew breakers to date, in order that the public could adapt to the new changes. That's now at an end. People breaking the curfew from 9 in the evening until 4 in the morning can expect immediate arrest and prosecution on the spot, and that applies to all 13 high-risk provinces, including our own. Vehicles, meanwhile, are being checked 24/7 and asked for reason for travel too, and neither ignorance of the law nor complacency will be accepted as excuses. End result? Well, both Pattaya and Bangkok were devoid of footfall and traffic after curfew last night. In most places, not a soul in sight. A few, sadly, including non-Thais, pushed the limits, but were quickly given stern warnings and, despite their bravado, hastened to their homes with their tails between their legs. With the advisory that if these new measures don't result in a drop in numbers, the nation could end up in a full home lockdown, as was the case in much of Europe at this stage, it's worth it for all of us to do the best to comply. And with the expectation that the COVID regulations will continue much longer than just August, the Thai MotoGP 2021 at the international circuit in Buriram, due to take place in October, has been cancelled for the second year in a row. Meanwhile, at home and in Pattaya, in addition to most government workers working from home and the closure of the Land Transport Office together with an appointment-only system for the Land Office, the water company has suspended all in-person transactions, and the electricity company, along with phone and internet companies, are expected to follow suit quickly. A multi-million baht online gambling operation has been raided in Banglamung that saw arrests and the confiscation of millions of baht, together with valuables, a mass of mobile phones and even a handgun. Good news for those already sick of home cooking just after 24 hours, as numerous eateries are operating home delivery and or takeaway from their premises. No need to go hungry. And with both Grab and Foodpanda available too, the washing up at least is limited. Don't forget though that all close at 8, so it's best to order around 6 o'clock at the latest to ensure delivery. And with the Met Office promising highs today of 32 dropping down to 28, and the promise of rain at some time. Local and national news today from Fabulous 103 FM and Fabulous Pattaya Media Group. And to get a notification every time we release another bulletin or program, like and subscribe to our channel, Fabulous Pattaya Media Group, by using the link below.